Hello students, welcome to Sri Ramanuja Vidyamandar, a temple for learning. Students, in previous lecture you learnt about the structure of a bone and at the same time what is the composition of the bone, and there is a special terminologies called such as osteoblast, osteoclast, osteocyte. Okay, so these terminology you learnt. So again today class I am going to teach you with the help of the diagrammatic representation. Again I will explain student. So student, today's class you are going to learn that important things about, that is that internal structure of bone and what is the composition of the matrix of the bone, and what are the yellow bone marrow, red bone marrow, and these points you are going to learn. So let us see what are the things. So see student, this is about the bone, right? This is about the TS of mammalian cell. In the TS of mammalian cell, mammalian bone, this is a TS of the transverse section of mammalian bone. Okay, the TS of transverse section of the mammalian bone. If you observe, this is a circled part. You can see student, the circled part, there is some special part is there. Now what is the first circle part you can see, that is called the osteocyte. What is the meaning of osteocyte? It is a bone form. The it is a osteocyte, it is a osteoblast. Once osteoblast is continuously divided to form osteocyte. So now you can see the other part is called this arrow. The second part is called the osteoblast. Osteoblast is followed by osteogenic cell. Osteogenic cell is nothing but simply it is a stem cell. Stem cell. It is also called the bone stem cell. It is also called bone stem cell. Osteogenic cell, it is having the regeneration capacity. It is represents the bone stem cell, and the other one is this third part represents the, what is that, osteoclast. Osteoclast means it is a bone. Okay, it is a bone. It is a very important thing. It is that here is the bone reabsorbing, it is going on here now. It is a destroying capacity. This cell osteoclast, it responsible for the bone is a destroying continuously. So this is about the osteoclast and osteoblast. Osteoblast means what? It is a bone forming cell, and whereas this one is the bone destroying cell is called the osteoclast. Right? So this is about the, hope you understand about this terminology with the help of the diagrammatic representation. So let us see the next, another important thing is, let us discuss about the internal structure of the mammalian bone. Internal structure of the mammalian bone are of four major structure we have discussed today. That is a periosteum. Okay, periosteum. The second one is the matrix. Third one is that endosteum. Fourth one is bone marrow cavity. So what are the students? Internal structure of the mammalian bone is made up of the four important parts. That is that the outermost layer of bone, you can see this is called the periosteum. Okay, the matrix. Okay, the matrix is actually, it is made up of the lacuna, right? So here the matrix is present here in this way, and the endosteum. Endosteum, where is the endosteum? It is a, you can see this part is represents the compact bone, right? In this, below the compact bone we can represent the endosteum. It is a inner layer of the bone layer, and in the endosteum what we observe now, there is a yellow bone marrow. At the same time we can also in the this soft spongy represents the red bone marrow we have. So in a one bone we can observe there are two type of bone marrow we can observe, student. There is this part what we call now, this is at epiphysis. In this epiphysis is a spongy nature, and in this below this one is that the spongy nature of this one is made up of a cavity. That cavity, you can see this is a spongy bone. It is made up of the cavity. That cavity is filled up with the red bone marrow. And coming to this circled part, you can see this circled part what is this one is that is represents the compact bone. This compact bone, it is made up of yellow bone marrow. So yellow bone marrow, the role is it is responsible for what is that? The storage of fat. Storage of fat. Storage of fat. What about the this one? The red bone marrow, it is represents the hematopoietic in nature. Hematopoietic in nature. Hematopoietic poietic in nature. Hematopoietic in nature means it responsible for the red bone marrow. It is a responsible to proliferate RBC formation. It responsible for RBC formation. Hope you understand this point, student, right? So what is this is a very important point. So all this part you need to understanding. This one is red bone marrow. It is a hematopoietic in nature. That means it is responsible for RBC formation here, and whereas a yellow bone marrow found in the compact bone, it responsible for storage of fat. Hope you understand this part. So this is about the bone marrow cavity. So that is also I'm going to teach you, that is a in detail manner. This is only for outline of parts of the internal structure of the mammalian bone. Let us see the details, the detailed information about all those things. Now first of all, the first part, okay, what is that? Periosteum. The periosteum, what is represent, student? It is the outermost covering bone is called the periosteum. Okay, so you can see this is assumed as a bone, right? So this circled part and this circled part represents the what is this? Periosteum. If you observe the periosteum, you can see the outer layer is made up of the what this is called the fibrous layer. This fibrous layer would be, it is made up of white, okay, white fibrous connective, white fibrous connective tissue. White fibrous connective tissue. The outermost part of the what is that? There is a peristomium. It's made up of the white fibrous connective tissue that we are already taught in the previous class. You can check the previous class. And the below the outer layer, another layer, that is the inner layer. Okay, so that is a below the peristeum, and the another layer, it is, you can see this layer, it is made up of the peristeum. It is a cellular layer. In this cellular layer and below the we have a osteocyte. It is present in the lacuna. Now this is information only it is given, student. You can carefully you can see. So the peristeum, it is made up of the two layers. So the outer layer is consist of what is that? A white fibrous connective tissue in which the blood circulation is present. That means what you understand, student, here only what is that? There is a blood circulation will be present. So what about this one is called blood circulation. Okay, the blood circulation is present here. And inner layer is a consist of, this is outer layer, student. So outer layer only, this is a outer layer, right? Outer layer, right? So what about the inner layer, student? The inner layer consists of a single layer of the osteoblast cells. Now I can see osteoblast cells. So here you can see this is the inner layer. Osteoblast cells is present. That means here only is present, student. This is, for example, this is a single osteoblast cells. A single osteoblast cells is present. So that cells is to be present in the inner layer. Okay, inner layer. So now once you know the concept of the osteoblast, once the osteoblast is to be divided continuously to form what is that? What is that? Osteocyte. So where the osteocyte is present? In a space that is called the lacuna. Okay, and it secrete so the osteocyte is secrete what is that? A layer of matrix. Hope you understand this point, student. Let us see once again what is that? We discussed about what is that? We're going to discussing about the periosteum. It is represents the outer covering of the bone structure, represents the periosteum. It consists of the two layers. What are they? Outer layer, inner layer. Outer layer is actually different. It is there is a made up of the white fibrous connective tissue. Generally it is a responsible for the circulation. Blood circulation is continuously occurs. And coming to the other one is that the peristeum. Okay, peristeum, it is a cellular layer. It is represents the inner layer, and it is a single layer of the osteoblast cells are present. This osteoblast cells involve the cell division. So because of the cell division, it is a continuously divided to form osteocyte, and also it is forms the secrete the layer of the matrix. So this osteocyte, you can observe that is the presence of a space that is called the lacuna, right? So hope you understand these points. So let us see the next other one is matrix. You know already the matrix is a nothing but it is a inorganic and organic part. The organic and inorganic part nothing but it is made up of the mucopolysaccharide in the form of like hyaluronic acid that we already taught in the previous class, right? So let us see the matrix here, student. It is made up of the inorganic. Inorganic means here is that calcium, phosphate and magnesium. And organic components nothing but it is a mucopolysaccharide something, okay, and certain compounds. So matrix is made up of the two components, inorganic and organic components. The matrix of the bone are of two types, students. This is a very important. Havassian canal, another one is Volkmann canal. This is a very important part. So what is the thing? It is that every part the matrix is found in the cartilage and as well as the bone. Here the matrix of the bone can be categorized into the two types, that is a Havassian canal, the other one is that Volkmann canal. So what does it mean, Havassian canal and Volkmann canal? You can see if you observe this is a compact bone and the spongy bony structure. So what is the meaning? It is that compact bone and a spongy bony. For suppose you can see I am drawing this at structure. Okay, so this is about the compact bone. Okay, now you can carefully can see, student. So this part I'm talking about, this part is represents the compact bone. Okay, and this part is represents the spongy bone. Spongy bone, right? So the compact bone and the spongy bone are also called as the cancellous bone, right? This bone is also called the cancellous bone. The detailed information of the spongy bone and the compact bone that I'm going to I will teach you in the next class. Let us see here, students. Here the lacuna. Lacuna means what? It is a space. Okay, it is a containing the osteocytes, right? So here the lamella is present. Okay, Canalicula is present, osteon is present, peristeum. I will explain all those things. It is that osteon of the compact bone, trabecula of the spongy bone, Havassian canal, Volkmann canal. So our important thing it is that these two only, this one and this one. So students, first of all you need to understand these two only, know, right? Remaining things I will explain later, but we have to you can concentrate these two terminology only, because of we are talking about the matrix. The matrix of this bone is made up of the two parts, right? So now you can see, student, Havassian canal means what? In the bone you can see this is a bone, no? The bone is actually arranged as a longitudinal fashion. So there is a specialized canal that is made up of blood vessels and nerve cells and some sensory cells are also present in this system, that is a Havassian canal. So this Havassian canal is also, it can be arranged as parallel to the bone structure. So students, what is that? So the Havassian canal is also arranged to the parallel to the bone. So the bone is very long, and here also it is arranged as a, it is also very long mannerly arranged as a parallelly manner. No. So once again you can see Havassian canal, it is represents the, what is that? It is a longitudinal part of the bone which is a parallel to the long bone structure. Let us see the Havassian canal. It is made up of the blood cells, blood vessels and sensory cells and nerves. Sensory cells are present. Majority of the Havassian canal, it is represents the, what is it made up of? Blood vessels are present. So this is one Havassian canal, student. You can see this is a one Havassian canal. So this is one Havassian canal and this is another Havassian canal. One Havassian canal and another Havassian canal can be associated with the help of another canal is called as Volkmann canal. right? So students, listen carefully. The matrix of this bone is the two types. Is that we're talking about the Havasian canal. In the bone, there is a in the internal structure of the bone, there is a longitudinal part. It represents the Havasian canal. This Havasian canal is filled up with the blood vessels. So one Havasian canal is associated with the adjacent Havasian canal is associated with the Volkmann canal. So the Volkmann canal can be arranged as a, what is that? You can see this is a Volkmann canal. Alright. So this is about the Volkmann canal. Now you can see the diagrammatic representation, student, for your reference. I hope you understand this point, right? Let us see the next part. Havasian canal. We're talking about the Havasian canal. So what does it mean, the Havasian canal, right? Havasian canal, it is a longitudinal canal which are arranged parallel to the long axis of the bone. I told you already, right? So this is about the Havasian canal. It is a longitudinal canal. It can be arranged parallel to the long axis of the bone. So for suppose you can see this is a bone, right? This is a bone. So in this internal structure we can represent, this is represents the Havasian canal. So these canals having the one or more two blood capillaries and nerve fibers are present. So the nerve fibers and the blood capillaries are present, and the nerve fibers are present here now. So here in these canals are the one or two blood capillaries and the nerve fibers are present here, right? So here this is a very important point I'm going to discuss already, right? Havasian canal is having the blood vessels, majority having the blood vessels and blood capillaries are present. Very, very important, students. So once again you can mention here, no, the blood capillaries, at the same time blood vessels also present, right? Blood vessels also present, and the nerve fibers is also present here, right? So this is a very important point, student. The next other one is Volkmann canal. I told you already, right? These are the transverse or horizontal oblique canal, right? Volkmann canal. So this is a part we am going to discussing the student. So Volkmann canal, simply it is a transverse canal. It is a, for example, you can see this is a, on my hand it represents the Havasian canal. This is another Havasian canal. So this one Havasian canal, another Havasian canal can be joined together, like you can see like this way. So the center one, it represents the Volkmann canal, right? So this is about the Volkmann canal. It is associated to the, what is that, one longitudinal Havasian canal is associated with the another Havasian canal, right? So here the Volkmann canal, what is the meaning? It is that these are the transverse or horizontal or oblique canals. So Havasian canals are interconnected by Volkmann canal. You can see the diagrammatic representation here for your reference, right? So the next, another important part I'm going to teach you, in the Volkmann canal, the space, right? In this space we have a filled up with the so much of matrix. So that matrix of this bone is synthesized by in the form of layer, that is called as, this layers matrix is called the lamellae. What is this called as? Lamellae, right? So here this, on the basis of arrangement of the three type of the lamellae, there are in the three type of matrix we can observe now, student. What are they? Havasian lamellae and interstitial lamellae and circumferential lamellae. So this is a very, very important point it is. Up to now what you understand, no, that is a Havasian canal and Volkmann canal. Now I'm going to teach you that is about the matrix. So the matrix of the bone is to be synthesized in the form of the layer, right? So the layer, generally the matrix is to be appear as a in the solid, liquid and layer. So in the bone structure you need to understand about the matrix is a layer. So that layer is called as lamellae. So you can see, student, where the lamellae, you can see this is a lamellae. So the layer of the matrix is called the lamellae. Okay, this is a point it is. So here one more important thing is, on the basis of the arrangement of the three type of the lamellae. Okay, what are the three type of lamellae? It is given Havasian lamellae. Havasian lamellae means the matrix is to be present in the Havasian canal. There is a Havasian lamellae, and in the Havasian lamellae only there is a space, interstitial space is there, and circumferential lamellae is also we can observe, right? So I'm going to teach you the detailed information of the all these lamellae in the next slide. Take a look here. And this is, you can see student, this is a compact bone, and what is the type of lamellae we can see. This is about the first one is the blood vessels within a central Havasian canal, first one. Another one is that here you can see the second, another important thing is that Volkmann canal. Oh, sorry. Another one is that interstitial lamellae. The second one is interstitial lamellae. Another one is, the third one is circumferential lamellae. So what is that? The blood vessels within a central cavity is a Havasian canal, interstitial lamellae, and circumferential lamellae. So these are the three type of the lamellae I am going to teach you today. So the next, you can see this is a also represents the student, that is a TS of mammalian bone. TS of mammalian bone. And this TS of mammalian bone, you already know about, that is the outermost layer of the part is called the periosteum, and below the periosteum we can represent there is a space, the matrix is called the concentric lamellae. And now we can see the center part, student. This is the center part. What is this is called the Havasian canal. Now we can see the black color spots you may observe now. So one black color spot, what is it represents now, that is called the bone cell. So the bone cell would be, it is like this is appear is there, no student. The appearance of the bone cell would be, it is present like this. Alright, and this is about the nucleus, and this is the cytoplasm, and this is called the cytoplasmic process. Okay, cytoplasmic process. So what is this meaning? It is, this is called the bone cell, student, and this is a nucleus, and this is about the cytoplasm, and this part, what is this part is indicate the, it is a processes, cytoplasmic process. So now I am drawing that is a magnification of the one osteocyte or bone cell. Okay, so there are so many bone cell as appears. It is a present in the space. It is called as, okay, it is a present in the space is called as, right, this is a space. The space is called as, what is that? Lacuna. The space is called as lacuna. For suppose you can see, student, now this is about the bone, right? Okay, this is a bone. So this bone, you can see this is about the cytoplasm is there, then centrally there is a nucleus is present. So there is a projection like structure, what we call now, that is a cytoplasmic process that can be present on the space. This is a space is called as lacuna. So here one cytoplasmic process is make an association with the other osteocyte, other bone cell of the cytoplasmic process. So that connection it makes, it is a circular pattern. Now you can see this is a circular pattern, can be formation is occurs now. So this whole thing is represents the, what is the system is called Havasian canal system only. So in this Havasian only canal, the center one is a Havasian, and there is a space is called the lamellae, and the bone cell, it is occupied in the free space is called the lacunae. And what is the meaning of canaliculae? So one cytoplasmic process, it make an association with the other cytoplasmic process of the bone cell, that is called the canaliculae. That means you can see, student, what again I will explain this point, it is that, so this is, what is that, student? I'll change the color. Now I can carefully listen. So this point, this is about the cytoplasmic process, right? Cytoplasmic process. And now I'm going to draw, this is about the bone cell. Right? So this is about the, what you understand? No? This is about the bone cell, right? So the bone cell, that is represent the, this is called the cytoplasmic process. I hope you understand this one is cytoplasmic process. This cytoplasmic process, it make an association with where this bone cell is present in the space, it is called as in a space, okay, this space, what is this space is called? Lacuna. Alright, so this space is called as, what is the student? Lacuna. Right, hope you understand this point. And coming to the next, another one is that this is a one bone cell, right? This is one bone cell, and it make an association with the other bone cell like this. Hope you understand this. Now you can see, student, this is also cytoplasmic process of other bone cell, and now you can see this is also, it is present in the another lacuna. Right, so now we can see this part, I'm talking about this part. What is this one is? So carefully you can see, student. So now again I'm drawing this part. I can see the red color part, association of one cytoplasmic process of the one bone cell and association with the other bone cell. So this association, this one is called, what is this called? Canaliculi. What is this called? Canaliculi. Canaliculi. So students, you can see this is about the lacuna and canaliculi. So the whole part is represents, what is that? Havasian canal system. And another important point, students, you can see the space is called the interstitial lamellae, and the bottom part is called the concentric lamellae, and the inner part of the bone, endosteum, right? So this is the periosteum and endosteum, right? So this is about the information about the TS of the mammalian bone, student. Hope you understand these points. The next, Havasian lamellae. Okay, Havasian lamellae means it is also matrix only, right? So the concentric layers of this matrix which are present around the Havasian canal. So it is a one type of the matrix. It is a present in the, where it is present? Around the Havasian canal. Between these lamellar layer, osteocyte cells are also present. Now you can see, student, what is that we're talking about this point, no? The first one. Again, you can taking as a diagram, the previous diagram as a reference. This is about the Havasian canal. This Havasian canal is filled up with blood vessels within the central only. So here we can observe on the, what is that? You can see between these lamellae. So here you can see this is about the Havasian lamella. So here and here are Havasian lamella. Between this is about the osteocyte is present in the space in the lacuna. And Havasian canal and Havasian lamellae, osteocyte form as Havasian system, are also called the osteon. This is a very, very important point, student. Osteon, right? What does that mean, the osteon? So what is that? Havasian canal, Havasian lamellae, osteocyte. So osteocyte is a present between the Havasian lamellae, Havasian canal, and these three is a constituent to form the Havasian system, also called as osteon. This is a point, is a very important point, student. You need to focus on this point as especially. And presence of the Havasian system is a typical feature of mammalian compact bone. So this is a very important point. So presence of the Havasian canal, it is a very important, it's a major, a significant importance for the mammalian compact bone. It's a very important point. Osteocytes are present in the lacuna. I told you already, osteocyte is a bone cell. Okay, it is a present in the space. That space we call it as the lacuna. Each osteocyte is interconnected with the adjacent osteocyte by the cytoplasmic process. I already represent with the help of the diagrammatic representation. You can see this diagram already drawn. You can see this is about the cytoplasmic process. The cytoplasmic process, it will make an association, what we call, no, that is a canaliculi. Now you can see this part, that is only it is mentioned it is. So the cytoplasmic process of osteocyte are present in the canals of lacuna are called as, what is that? Canaliculi. This is a very, very important point, student. Right? So hope you understand about the Havasian lamellae. Right? So in these points, what you learned about the concentric layers of the matrix, it is present around the Havasian canal, and between the this lamella of layers is a osteocyte cells are present. You can see the osteocyte cells is present in the lacuna, and the Haversian canal, Haversian lamellae and osteocyte and form as a Haversian system are simply called as osteon. And the presence of the Haversian system is a typical feature of all the mammalian bone, compact bone. And this is a very important point. What is that? Osteocyte having the cytoplasmic process. This cytoplasmic process is associated with the other adjacent osteocyte also having the cytoplasmic process. So one cytoplasmic process of one osteocyte make an association with other osteocyte of a cytoplasmic process, and that can be formed as a connection that called as what is that? Canaliculi. This is a very important point, student. The other one is that interstitial lamellae. The same diagram you can take in an exam is take as reference for your understanding for interstitial lamellae where it is. Interstitial lamellae, these are the matrix are present in the space between the two Haversian system. So students, you can see this is also Haversian system, 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 this is also Haversian system. So what they are talking about now, so there is these layers of matrix are present in the space between the two Haversian system. So this is 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. For example, you can see the space. I can see this is a 1 and 2. This is the between the, you can see these layers are present between the space between. So this is one Haversian system. This is second Haversian system. So in between this there is a space is called the interstitial lamellae. This is a very important. So simply you need to remember interstitial lamellae is a one type of matrix. It is a present with a between two Haversian system. The next another one is that circumferential lamellae. Where is the circumferential lamellae in this diagram? You can see this is about the circumferential lamellae. What does it mean? It is circumferential lamellae are of two types. What are they? The first one is that outer and inner. Outer circumferential lamellae, these are the present around all Haversian system. These are the peripheral layer of the matrix is present. That means you can see this is a bone, right? The bone you can see there's a circumferential lamellae, outer part and bottom part is called the inner part. So this is about the outer part I'm talking to you. These are the present around all the Haversian system. You can see this is about the outer now. So below also we can also represent there is a inner circumferential lamella also present. So these are the peripheral layer of the matrix. You can see peripheral, that means adjacent only. Adjacent or edge of the cell, edge of the system of the bone, compact bone. And inner circumferential lamellae, it is a present around the bone marrow cavity. Bone marrow cavity, that means you can see there is a central is present, student. There is a central, there is a bone marrow cavity is there now. So that is about the inner circumferential lamellae. For suppose I will draw the diagrammatic representation where the this is about the compact bone. Okay, the compact bone, there is a in this one is there is a inner part. This blue color part is indicate what this indicate. That is about inner circumferential lamellae. So after the inner circumferential lamellae, there is a bone marrow. That nothing but what is that? That is a yellow bone marrow is present. This is about the yellow bone marrow. So what about this one is inner circumferential lamellae. Hope you understand about the circumferential lamellae, right? So this is a diagrammatic representation where the circumferential lamellae is present for you taking as a reference. So the next the one is, so successfully we are completed about the matrix and the peristeum, and the third part we discuss about the endosteum. Endosteum is actually there are two parts, students. What are they? The first one is that it is towards the bone marrow cavity layer lined with the reticular fibrous connective tissue. So towards the bone marrow cavity. So this is about the bone marrow cavity. You can see endosteum. So the red color, you can see the brown color, you can see this is represents the red bone marrow. Red bone marrow. What is the role of red bone marrow? It is a hematopoietic in nature. That means it is a proliferate the formation of RBC. And another part you can see to the matrix towards matrix of the bone towards the endosteum lined with the layer of the osteoblast cells. They divide to form the osteocytes and synthesize the matrix, and so the growth of the bone is bidirectional. Bidirectional means peripheral and central region. Well, the growth of the cartilage is unidirectional. This point is a very important point, student. Growth of our bone is bidirectional. That means peripheral region. That means, for example, assume this is a peripheral here and here, peripheral region and central region. Central region, it is elongate like this, and peripheral region is also elongate. So bidirectional is there. For example, you can see this. Okay, so this is about the central region. Okay, central day region, and peripheral region also developed. So peripheral region and central region, it is a growth of the cartilages unidirectional. So this point is very important, student. And endosteum is also, we can represent, there are so many cells. What is that? You can see endosteum. There is a osteoclast cells is there. Osteoclast, it is bone reabsorbing cells. It is a bone destroying cell. Bone matrix is what we call now lamellae. And osteocyte, it is a bone cell. Osteogenic cell, nothing but it is a stem cell. Osteoblast, bone forming cell, is called the osteoblast. So these are all the part is a part of endosteum. I hope you understand this part, student. Endosteum, what is that? It is towards the bone marrow lined with the reticular fibrous connective tissue. Simply can write here RFCT. RFCT means reticular fibrous connective tissue. I hope you understand this third one. And the fourth one, you can see, student, that is about the talking about the bone marrow cavity. The bone marrow cavity, in the central region, hollow cavity is present. Okay, you can see this is about the hollow cavity, which is called the YBM. YBM means yellow bone marrow. What is the function of yellow bone marrow? It is a storage of fat. Storage of fat. Right? Storage of fats. So now you can see that's a function is a collection of fats or storage of fats. Now see, student, this is about the bone cell diagram. Okay, I already draw this one. Now so see, student, this is a very important point. The bone marrow, we're talking about the bone marrow cavity. Generally the bone marrow cavity, it is appears in the whole bone. For example, you can see the bone is actually differentiated into three parts, student. First part is called the epiphysis. Here also epiphysis. Second part we call it as the metaphysis. Here also metaphysis. And the third part we call it as the diaphysis. So the bone is actually differentiated into three important parts. What are they? The first one is that epiphysis. Okay, epiphysis. Another one is metaphysis. The third one is diaphysis. Epiphysis, metaphysis, diaphysis. Epiphysis can be differentiated into the two parts. What are they? Proximal, and other one is that distal. So student, you can see this is a proximal, 1 and 1. That's why I'm indicating here the 1 proximal. Now you can carefully observe this proximal epiphysis. There is a spongy bone is observed. The spongy bone is covered by, there is a epiphyseal line, also called as epiphyseal plate. So this epiphyseal plate, it covers the red bone marrow. What is that epiphyseal plate can do? It is a present between the spongy bone and red bone marrow. You can see this is a very important point. It is a epiphyseal plate as line. It is a covers the red bone marrow. So here we're talking about the bone marrow cavity. We have a two type of bone marrow cavity. One is a red bone marrow cavity. It is a present in the metaphysis. So you can see the metaphysis region only. There is a there is a epiphyseal line is present, and at the same time red bone marrow is also present. And metaphysis followed by this part. Okay, this part, I'm talking about this part. What is that? Endosteum and cortical bone. This endosteum and cortical, the outermost part is called the cortical bone. Endosteum is actually made up of the medullary cavity. This cavity is filled up with the yellow bone marrow, and yellow bone marrow, it is already told, no, this is a collection of a storage of fat. Now you can see also made up of the nutrient artery, it is there, and periosteum, it is the outermost layer of the bone, right? And metaphysis also we can observe here also, and distal epiphysis also we can observe in the bottom. So students, you can see the spongy bone we can see in the epiphysis region, whereas epiphyseal line, it is present in the metaphysis. Epiphyseal line or plate, it is a protect the red bone marrow. Red bone marrow, it is a generally found in the metaphysis region. It is a responsible for formation of RBC, and after metaphysis there is another one as a diaphysis. It is made up of the a cavity called medullary cavity. It is filled up with the yellow bone marrow. The yellow bone marrow function is collection of fats or storage of fats. So students, so this is about the anatomy of the long bone, typical long bone, showing the gross anatomical features. I hope you understand today's class about the internal structure of bone. Okay, the next class I'm going to teach you the remaining importance of bone. Thank you students. Thank you all.